and welcome back to another review on the channel with returning friend MMAKIngKREESEJR.
Sup, folks?
I don't know if you can tell by the aesthetic today, and also from the little preview of the last video that we did. Could it be? Are we in Gotham City?
Oh, we're in Gotham City, my friend.
Yes, we are. And this is the Batman from 2022. So, if you haven't seen this movie, then what are you doing with yourself? Second of all, yes, there's going to be spoilers, even though I know it's technically been like a year, but you know what people are like. There's always that one person who's always behind. They're like, I've not seen the movie, you're spoiling it. Then stop watching the review on the movie then. Why are you here? Go watch it and come back. It's on Blu-ray now. There's no excuse. That's how we watch this.
Yeah, no excuses, man. My rule is this: if it's past 3 weeks, then
it's your own fault. So let's jump straight into this. So the beginning of this movie was actually a really good opening. Yes, I can see what my good friend Danny over here said. It can be quite slow because as much as it's cool seeing all the political stuff, I don't care for political stuff. Like, I know it's Gotham, so it's got to be there. It's got to be there. But in my general taste, you could have just skipped that part, to be honest. Like, it wouldn't have made much difference. So, yeah. How about you, Danny? What was your sort of thoughts on this opening?
Okay, so once again, I'm not the guy. There's plenty of YouTubers that are great in the political world. Go check them out. But for me, when it comes to Batman, I'm over it. I'm over all elections. I'm over for this political party candidate and this political party candidate. I think, me personally, it was just not needed. Mattreeves, in my opinion, or whatever. Like, I'd rather it. This is just me personally. I'd rather that they just showed the mayor being elected and then we move on into the movie. Like, that's just me, but you know.
Yeah, to be fair, I would be the same because like when especially like the candidates, like, you know, it's just your run of the mill. I really want Gotham. You're a corrupt one, and the other one's not so corrupt. But we can get more into her later on in the film because there's a funny scene for me. Well, a funny scene for me, but you know, might not be so funny to other people. But it was funny to me because it kind of like proves a point that I've been saying in a lot of these videos as of late. So we can get into that a bit later on, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But then, of course, what I'm going to get straight into this. We're not going to go scene by scene like we normally do because this movie is nearly 3 hours long. That would be physically impossible to remember at least every single scene. Like, every scene has its place and every scene is important to the story. Some of it can be a bit long, but I don't necessarily have a problem with that. The one thing I want to say, though, is that Pattinson is one of the best Batman we've ever got on a screen because...
Oh yeah, for sure.
He doesn't only understand the assignment, but he also shows a duality of the character that we've never seen before. Because in this version of it, he doesn't play the playboy philanthropist. Yeah,
philanthropist.
Straight off the bat, it's because he's still year 2, and I like that because it's showing you that he had to create that persona, and it shows you, as Kevin Conroy used to say, it's Batman is the man, Bruce Wayne is the mask. It's the other way around. Yeah. And I like that duality. And you can see it within this movie. Because in this movie, Bruce isn't Bruce yet. So you can see deep down, he's just Batman. All he's thinking about is Batman. One thing that I do like about this opening scene as well is that when it's transitioning and it's showing you him being Batman and it's got all the cool like transitions and things, is that it shows you from the get-go that this is the version that we've seen in every other version of Batman as of late. But the thing I like about this is that the character develops during this movie, where unlike most of them, he stays the same. So we can get more into that. How about you, Danny? What about your sort of thoughts?
I will have to say that this is one of the best openings of any Batman that I've seen. Like, you know, I got favorite ones other than Pattinson, but I have to give Pattinson his props. He made a statement. He made a statement to all the trolls that said like, "Oh, he's Twilight Boy. Oh, he's just like he's Twilight Boy." Nah, like, I mean, bro, this reminded me of you know, the Batman the Animated Series slash Arkham, that Arkham Asylum type of Batman scene. Like, you know, he's setting the precedent of I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm here to stay. Like me or not, I'm part of the actual Bat family. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I enjoyed this part right here of him just straight up saying like I'm vengeance. Like, let's get the what like the fact that he just started mollywop everybody in that game. That was chef's kiss if you're a Batman's fan.
I loved it so much, especially when it came to that scene, particularly because when you see him, ironically, if you know about the horrible adaptation of Titans on the, what was it, the CW or something, the guy that plays Tim Drake is one of the guys in the Goon Squad where Batman shows up and starts beating the living crap out of them. And that's what I liked about it. I can't wait until we get the rest of the line, though, because in this movie, we got I am the vengeance. So what comes next? I am the night. And then what comes after that?
Yeah.
I am the Batman.
Yeah. So,
I like how they're slowly building up. That's what I love about this movie, because it's a year 2 movie, and the way they've went about it, they've not made it a year 2 Batman and, you know, went back crazy with it. They're so true to the character still. Like, this is Batman to me. Like, even just the simple way that Robert Pattinson, the only difference between Bruce's and Batman's voice is he deepens it. And what did Kevin Conroy do? He deepened his voice to be Batman. And I love that, because so many people, Christian Bale, for example, decided, you know, instead of, you know,
where is he? Where is he? I smoke 50 a day.
It's like, okay, kill. Like, that's just too over the top, where this one is such a better performance.
Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to have to go into the main villain of this movie, which me and Danny, we have our issues with the portrayal of this villain, because as much as I love the Riddler, this is not the Riddler. This is Hush Riddler. And even at that, it's still a push, because it's still really, really bad. And don't get me wrong, for this movie, is he a good villain? Yes.
Yes.
What he does, yes, is smart. Yes, he does do the riddles. But other than the riddles, he is not the Edward we know. This is a completely different character.
Yeah. I just to piggyback off of that, I know, like, my classic 8 out of 10, go check it out or whatever, but I really don't care. Like, I will debate anybody to tell me that that's not Edward Nitma, dude. Like, now, can you like this Riddler more than the other adaptations of Riddler? Of course, I'm not gonna knock you on it and everything. Of course not. You like what you like, but you're not. That's not the character or whatever. The people that say that they like this is really just the people to say, like, you know what, I like it because it's dark type of thing. That's that's the only reason what I can, like, come down to, because, like, if you're a Batman fan, you know, like, the thing that makes Edward Nigma is he's the smartest person in the room. He's cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't let his emotions get to him like that. He's like, the only time he gets emotional is when Batman figures out a question and he couldn't figure it out. That's the only time you see, like, the Riddler, like, go crazy or whatever. Other than that, he's always in charge. Like, he's always thinking 5-10 steps ahead, and that's and I get it's year 2, but still, I'm like, even then, like, Edward was still smart enough. I'm just saying, there's a lot of adaptations of him doing it better, where, like, before he's Riddler, he's pretty smart enough to, like, stay in the shadows. You don't know who I am, but I know who you are, or whatever. So
yeah, that's one of my biggest issues with this Riddler as well, to be honest, is it's only year 2 Batman, and all of a sudden Riddler's already figured out his personality. Like, don't get me wrong, I know he's the Riddler. I know there's times where he has figured out Bruce Wayne's secret identity. But the thing that bothers me the most about it is only year 2. So it's like, why is he already able to find this stuff out? Second of all, we can get onto our favorite subject, which we see this at the beginning of the movie. He does this weird, like, stalkery stuff. He's wearing a BDSM mask for some strange reason. There's no explanation of it. They never like they're always like, "Oh, you inspired me. You know, I wear a mask too." But so why did you choose a BDSM mask? Why did you not just like wear like a paper thing mask or something different? Why a BDSM mask?
I mean, because I know there's going to be somebody says, "Well, he's based off of the Zodiac Killer because Matt Reeves said so." Okay, fine. Still, it's still stupid. Like
the thing about the Zodiac Killer, though, he didn't wear a mask. No one knew what he looked like. So what? I would be pretty shocked if I heard about the Zodiac Killer running about in a BDSM mask. I'm pretty sure people wouldn't take him as seriously if he was doing that. Oh, better watch it. There's a guy coming at me in a BDSM mask. Oh no!
I'm like, because the thing is, I wanted to give this Riddler a shot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first saw the look of the Riddler, I didn't like it anyway. So I was like saying like, okay, I don't like this version of Riddler, like the way he looks. Maybe just maybe he can like change my mind once I watch the movie. No, I don't like it.
It's not just that as well. It's just the character itself, like him bludgeoning people. You know, like him shooting people. He's never been a rifleman in the entire series, and it's like the character of the Riddler. The only thing that I think Matt Reeves got right was the riddles. Other than that,
he got the.
He actually insane. He said having mental breakdowns and having like. I know what people are going to say. It's a realistic story. You know, this is what it's like to be in real life. Guess what? It's Batman. It's not meant to be real life. Oh, yeah, because there's going to be a mega rich man running about in a bat suit, sitting fighting crime in the middle of the night. It's a comic. Like, I understand movies like to be gritty and realistic, but that was my biggest issue, especially with the Nolan trilogy. We don't need dark and gritty and realistic. Look at what happened to all the superhero movies. We got Aqua Buff. We go Wonder Woman was alright actually. She was fine, but like
I actually liked the Wonder Woman. Like Wonder Woman was good. That.
But the rest of them, like we're making all these characters that were once sort of campy, sort of okay. I am mega serious. I'm stoic. No, that's Batman. Not everybody's Batman. That's the beauty of Batman. Even if Superman wasn't the hope-filled man he was, and he was just Batman 2.0, then why would they fight? Why would there need to be a Batman versus Superman? There wouldn't be, because their ideals wouldn't conflict otherwise.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't get about that, like this weird take on the Riddler. It's like, it's grounded and it's realistic, and yes, I know it's a variation of the take, right? And is it a good variation for what it has to be? Yes. Is it a good take on the Riddler character and a whole? No. So this is the way I would put it to people out there that don't understand what I'm saying, right? There's a good accurate Riddler, and then there's a good Riddler for what the movie is. And it's completely separate, and that's what these are. It's also like a very other sensitive subject that, if you know, I'm not going to put it out there, but this is one of the biggest issues about these things, is that you can't say that, oh, but it's just a different take, and that justifies it, because it doesn't. Like, it's supposed to represent that character. Yeah, it's a interpretation. Of course you can do that. But if the fundamentals aren't there for that character, to me, it doesn't feel like the character. So, like, for Riddler, for example, yes, I enjoyed his performance. I thought he was a good villain of this story. Was he menacing? Well, you're like, oh, shit. Yes, of course you are. But when it ultimately comes down to it being, has he got the fundamentals of the original Riddler? Hell no. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Can he grow into that? Yes. And that's what I'm hoping to see.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I'm saying, like, okay, because shout out to my man Darius Cinnamamba, or whatever. He kind of gave me a point of, well, King, maybe they're probably grooming him up to be that Riddler that you like. And and you know what? I said, all right, Cinnamamba, fair point and everything. Things are subject to change. Yeah. Maybe they'll change, just maybe. I don't know, and everything. So that's why I'm just saying, we got 2 more movies to go, I believe, or whatever. So, things can subject to change, but let's just be honest. Like, this is because like I said, like, if you watch the animated movie, the new 52 movie of Hush, go watch that and go watch this movie and tell me that this ain't Hush Riddler. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all I'm going to say. That movie, Hush Riddler. That movie was one of the worst Batman animated movies I've watched, and I love a lot of them.
Yeah, that was a horrible movie. No one,
Yeah.
I don't know anybody, because the thing is, the same people that said that, oh, this movie's garbage, when I pointed it out, they're taking that and putting it right there. Oh no, man, you're go rewatch that movie and then go rewatch this. Go compare the two and everything. Go watch.
So we can move on to another main, well, like two main villains. So I think we're going to move on to talking about the Penguin, and so this is the best version of the Penguin we've seen. Like Danny DeVito's is a great Penguin in his own right, but he is good for a Tim Burton movie. When it comes to accuracy to the Penguin, this is Oswald Cobblepot in like the best way you will ever get him.
Yes. Now this Penguin here, because we only had 2 live action iterations of well, if you count Gotham 3 or whatever, but like you have the 1906 Penguin, too campy, you know. But I like 1966. Don't get me wrong, I love that cheesiness, like, you know. But then you had Tim Burton's one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reserve judgment on that one. Me personally, I think 92 is a little overrated, but that's just me. That's a personal take or whatever. But you know, you don't have to agree with me on that one. And then you got the Gotham. Then you got the Gotham Penguin, and like, I didn't care for Gotham, so like, you know, that's just me. But this one right here, shout out to Colin Farrell, man, because like I did not know that was Colin Farrell until like somebody said, "Hey, that's Colin Farrell is playing the Penguin." Really? Okay. Like they had the wobble down, they had the attitude down, they had like the suits. I'm like, that gangster mobster mentality. I'm like, yeah. I like this Penguin right here. Now this is Penguin right here. He's a narcissist. He's trying to be rich, and he's trying to be the top kingpin. That's how you do it.
And then this is the thing. Like, also you have Tony Falcone. Obviously, he's supposedly like the main villain of the story because he's the reason why the Riddler's doing everything that he is. You know, he tries to trick Bruce Wayne into believing that his parents were actually bad people when it turns out it wasn't the case. And that's the thing is, like, to be honest, like, as much as I know he's an integral part of the story, like, I don't really give crap about him. He was not at the forefront, even though he was supposed to be the big bad. Like he was like the big bad that caused all of the bigger, badder stuff to happen. So it was like, you know, he was more there for Catwoman's storyline, which we can get more into in a second. And for me, like, when it comes to Penguin's story overall, he was amazing, and I think he was a really good. And I can't wait to see more, especially with the Penguin show coming out soon.
For sure.
When we go into Catwoman, obviously her story is turns out Tony Falcone Falcone, you know, same difference. Is obviously her dad, and obviously she's got a friend that is in deep trouble. Because of Tony Falcone, and she's trying to help her friend out and things. So she's working the nightclub, like the club where Penguin and all the dodgy people of Gotham work, you know, people in the police and all that sort of stuff. So it shows you the proper deep-rooted corruption and things, which I think is good because it's showing you that stuff can exist and things. Like, that's the part of the political stuff I don't mind. And obviously, with Catwoman, I think the casting choice was great. I also thought her performance was hella good in this. She reminded me of Selena Kyle. She played the part to the T, in my opinion, where a lot of the times where I love, obviously, the original Catwoman, what's her name, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer.
She was a good Catwoman. Obviously, the original 1966 ones as well. Obviously, there was 3 of them. Anna Hathaway, but I'm not talking about you. You can stay up on the shelf over there. So for me, like,
and Holly Berry, we choose to ignore. My bad, bro. I just had to slide that one in there.
Wait, who was that again? I can't recall that at all. Strange.
Yeah.
When it comes to a Catwoman story, I actually thought the storyline was really good. The stuff with her and her dad, you know, her, obviously, unfortunately, her friend gets killed because of, sorry, you can't say that on YouTube, unalived. And obviously that's unfortunate and things, but the thing that I like about her character is that it's showing you the contrast between her and Bruce already, but the thing that I loved about the dynamic between her and Batman is that there's that mutual understanding and that mutual love that you know they're going to come back to in the future, and I can't wait for that to happen as well, because you know she's coming back. Like, there's no doubt in
Oh
my
yeah,
mind that she's coming back. Tony Falcone, like when it comes to him, you know, he was just like the big bad guy. You know, he was the one doing a lot of the unaliving, and he was the one that was rigging it. He owns the city. Obviously, he gets taken down, and that's what like. So when it comes to his character, I'm not so fussed about. How about yourself?
so like on Tony Balcony or whatever, like I
Falcon,
was
mate,
like
Falcon.
watching. I was like me and I was watching the movie, and then I just had like I was just looking up the actor, and I say, oh, he's the butler off of Mr. Deeds. That's where I know him from. Like, I love that movie. I love
Yeah.
Mr. Deeds. Go check that one out. It's pretty funny. Anyway, but like but over yeah, Balcony, like you know, he runs the city. I mean, it's just show, and this is where I say like, okay, this is where the political stuff I'm okay with, because
Yeah.
you know what? There are kingpins that run the city. Your politicians are bought. Once again, on that side of YouTube that know more better than me, but like, you know, in this case, they're like Valconi is working for both sides and everything. So like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's cool with this mayor candidate, but I wouldn't be surprised in the next movie if the other mayor candidate was like had some fun of money that came through her way with Balcony. Just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Just a little bit of funding, you know.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like you think you think she was gonna change Gotham? Anyway,
Back in topic.
back on topic or whatever. So yeah,
Catwoman.
I love the fact when Catwoman came in. So of course, you know, a lot of people are saying like, why it has to be Zoe Kravitz and everything. Blah blah blah. I
And to
get it
those
and
people, to
everything.
those, a little sorry for sentiments before you say that. And to those people, you are idiots. Stop giving a crap. She actually done the character justice. It doesn't matter. Shut up. Thank you. On you
Yeah,
go.
okay. So I was gonna talk to those guys too. Like, listen, I'm one of the same. I'm kind of like y'all too, to a certain extent. I don't really like race swap characters myself.
Me either.
But you know what? But my rule is this: if you're gonna race swap, do a good job. Like, do a great job. Whoever,
Mm-hmm.
like, give me a reason. Because my thing is this: if you race swap a character and they don't do a good job, you just wasted somebody's role, in my opinion, and everything, and you made yourself look stupid. But
Yep.
back on the subject, Zoe Kravitz, she freaking killed it. She
Mm-hmm.
killed it, and I will go as far to say I think she might arguably be the best Catwoman. Now, Tim Burton fans, don't you attack me and everything. I'm just.
To be fair, I'm in agree. To be fair, I'm in agreement, so they can come for both of us if they want to.
It's like
I,
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, performance wise, Catwoman wise, like
yeah.
grounded wise, she did her thing. Now
Yeah.
it's just only year 2, so she has some years to go or whatever. So like, you know, Zoe Kravitz did really great. I love the romance between
Mm-hmm.
Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz's Batman and Catwoman. I think they are amazing with each
Yeah.
other. They they so it feels like they were great with each other on screen. Like you feel the vibe for
Yeah.
both of them, and it's believable.
It's
So
got the chemistry.
yeah, they got the chemistry, and you know she's just trying to help a friend. Because you know it's the life of it's mobster life, man. You know, like, and let's just say that her friend is a dancer. We won't say read between the lines on that. She
Exotic dancer.
is exotic dancer. Anyway, like I was saying, like, you know, back on subject. um, yeah, she figures out a friend went missing or whatever, and they're basically kind of taking a little bit of Batman Year One, a little bit of that
Mm-hmm.
story, and throwing a little bit of Long Halloween mixed together. So like, if you or a good Batman fan, you'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, they're basically taking that. They took that storyline and put this storyline together, and I like Selena. Like she held it down. She was like she wasn't like a girl boss or whatever, and it wasn't annoying or whatever, except for like one line down the line. We might talk about that later. It's like some of the stuff that I personally don't like, but for the most part, man, Zoe Kravitz killed it. Like I love Zoe Kravitz. Like she killed it, man. And
she killed it. Like there's no doubt about it. Obviously, the last character we're going to talk about, and then we can go on to those later subjects, as Commissioner Gordon. And yes, that's another person that was sort of race swapped, and I do not care. And I know people might hate me for this, but I think this was the best like Commissioner Gordon, who's not Commissioner Gordon yet, that we've ever gotten, because he's believable in the character. He acts like Batman's best friend, like we get more dynamic between them. And that's one of the things I also like about it, is because in this movie we see Batman be a detective. We see him and Gordon working together, going after Penguin, actually analyzing stuff and figuring stuff out. I enjoy that because that is what Batman is. And I like that. It's not just always constant action. Yes, is the action good? Of course it is. But that's why I like Gordon's character as well. Is that he feels like Gordon. You feel like this is the man that Batman is going to have a nice, loving bromance with for years to come. It's not unbelievable. And he's the one that's helping Commissioner Gordon become Commissioner Gordon, because he's the one helping rat out all the bad weeds from the police. And obviously, Gordon gets rid of them as much as he can possibly can, quickly as possibly he can as well.
Yeah.
So how about you, Dan?
So for me, with Commissioner Gordon, of course, like I said, just like I told you earlier, personally don't like race swaps, but the guy that played Commissioner Gordon did a really good job. My rule is this: once again, I have to reiterate: if you do a good job as a race swap character or whatever, like, and you knock it out of the park, I can forgive it and everything. Like I can forgive it because just for another example, don't mean to go off subject. Like, let's just take a bad example of a race swap character. Bane. There we go. Dark Knight Rises, Bane. Race swap, didn't like it. Totally destroyed the character. No offense to Tom Hardy. I bet you're a really cool dude, but your version of Bane sucks. Anyway, like back on subject. Commissioner Gordon. Well, I say he's the best Commissioner Gordon. I can't say that. Me personally, I think the best Commissioner Gordon, I'll have to give it to the Dark Knight trilogy a little bit, because they had. I personally,
I get what you're saying. For me, I didn't really care for that Gordon. Like he was there for me, but like that's the thing. Where for me, this felt like an actual Gordon. Where like, he was a good Commissioner Gordon, but like to me, I don't know, Gary Oldman. To me, like I've seen him in so many things, it's hard to see him as that character. Like I've seen him in Sirius Black, Sid Vicious. He's a multi-talented actor. So when it comes to his Gordon, don't get me wrong, I do really like it. But to me, this is closer to the character, in my opinion. But like that's the best thing about us. We can have different opinions.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I prefer like that dark. I like the Dark Knight Gordon a little bit more or whatever. Just based off of like, because like I said, I'm more of on visual, comic accuracy and stuff like that. And like that's my personal Gordon or whatever and everything. My personal Gordon, you don't have to agree with me. We all cool at the end of the day. But this Gordon right here is my second one and everything. Like you could tell that it's gonna be a good bond and everything. It's gonna be it's a great bond between two characters or whatever. Because I mean, other than the animated series Gordon, you had the 89 through 97 Gordon that was useless, aka Chief O'Hara. And
I was going to say Commissioner Useless, because he didn't do nothing in those movies other than go, Batman, Batman, Batman. Oh, please let me stroke your hair, poison ivy. And it's like, dude, why did you make Commissioner Gordon a simp? What the hell is this all about? But anyway,
and then and so like you could tell that these two are going to be the best of the best of friends. They got that bond. And the fact that he even protected Batman when people were calling him a freak, a weirdo, like, why are you dressed up like a bat? Like, he's crazy or whatever. Like, Gordon, what's going on here? Why is this nut part of the police force. See, but you know, Commissioner Gordon is always going to have Batman's back, because guess what? Batman does the right thing, is supposed to do the right thing, what he's doing or whatever. So, I mean, that's how I feel about that. Yeah.
Also, one of the good scenes from the Commissioner Gordon is when like they're trying to go after the Batman, because obviously there's corrupt police there, and obviously they're like, oh, he could be a part of this, and then he's like, right, take my key, sneak out, there's a door to here, and I'm like, yes, that's Commissioner Gordon to me. Yes, he's sneakily helping Batman without them knowing. So going for, like, let's just talk about the overall story now. We can talk about the bits that, you know, we're not so fond of, and or the ones that we were. So for me, one of the scenes that stuck out a lot when it came to the Riddler that I really, really disliked. No, not the Riddler. Well, it includes the Riddler, sorry. It's the scene with the Riddler and the Joker, where pseudo-Joker, whatever the hell they want to call him. What was that laugh at the end? I'm sorry, but that's not a Joker laugh. It was not, like, menacing in the slightest. It sounded like Ronald McDonald was just chilling in the cell next to him. I'm sorry, it was not scary. It didn't have the... You know, I didn't have the girthiness of a Joker laugh, as well as, like, the Riddler acting so, like, he was acting more like he had, like, a bipolar disorder, sitting having, like, a mental breakdown because his plan didn't work. That's not the Riddler. I'm sorry, that is not the Riddler. Like, that he doesn't have mental breakdowns. He might freak out a little bit, don't get me wrong, of course, but he's not going to be doing it for, like, 10 to 20 minutes, having, like, a weird, like, nearly looking like he's having an aneurysm just because a plan didn't work out, you know? And obviously, the Joker, oh, everybody loves a comeback story. Okay, cool, Joker, but no one's ever met you yet, so you can't make a comeback story. That would be your introduction. Even though, technically speaking, I don't know how he's already there. And obviously, if the Joker already exists, that's just one thing that I did notice. If the Joker already exists, does that mean Batman's already fought him? And that's why he's there? Because it wasn't really
like, they actually did say that Batman did capture the Joker. They have history or whatever. I think they're basing it off of I remember Matt Reeves talking about it's like based off of the one of the comic books of Batman or whatever. I can't think of the name of the issue, but he basically just saying like this is the Joker where, like, he challenges Batman, where Batman is, like, actually afraid of the Joker a little bit, like, because he's not, because remember, he's still year one, but, like, he doesn't have that confidence as Batman yet too, because then the Joker can sense it or whatever, like, because the thing about the Joker is he knows how to manipulate. He can read a situation real quick without you even telling him nothing, like, oh, okay, like, oh, you need my help, okay, like, but
I'm trying to think as well. What other scenes was there? Maybe you can go, because I'm struggling to remember scenes here.
I mean, I was gonna capitalize on that part where, like, you know, where they captured the Riddler and like the Riddler's having a nervous breakdown. And he's just like, no, like, you're not building, the people that keep on telling me this is a great Riddler, you're not building the case for me and everything. I'm thinking that I think you're thinking that, oh, because it's dark and edgy, and it's edgy and dark, and like it's a different interpretation. Yeah, that's still not Edward. Like, you can't convince me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you know, because I'm just saying, like, the Riddler is, like, really, really calculated. He doesn't break down like that. You know, I get it. Arkham Asylum, I get it. Like, when people are telling me this stuff, I get it, but I'm just referring back to, like, all the stuff that I've seen, like, you know, the animated series, Batman Forever, you know what I'm saying, like the 1966 series,
even like the later on Batman cartoons, like The Batman Brave and the Bold, they all have a version of Riddler that's so much more and like fundamentally as the Riddler. It's not this weird sort of man baby sort of take on him. Like, that's what it really is. He's like, you need to pay attention to me. You need to pay attention to me. And it's like, what the? That's not the Riddler.
Yeah. Another scene that popped out to me, I think you agree with this one. Batman chasing Penguin, man. I think that's I think that's the best scene of the movie right there. Like, you know, I got you, I got you, I got you. Like,
and then he's like, "Does this freak not die?"
I'm like, oh my goodness. I love that chase scene. I was like, yo, man, this is like straight up like Arkham Asylum. Go check out that movie, Batman Assault on Arkham Asylum. It's basically like the Suicide Squad with Batman and the Joker and Harley Quinn. It's an amazing movie. Go check it out. Kevin Conroy is the voice of Batman in that one. Yep. So, you know, the GOAT. Yeah,
the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT. But yeah, that part right there is just that chase scene right there where he's just like the Penguin thinks he's about to get away and Batman just catches him, man. Oh my goodness. And the interrogation scene with him and Commissioner Gordon, amazing. That's one of my favorite parts. What do you think about that, Adam?
Oh no, I see. I'm the same. When it comes to that, that was one of my favorite scenes. Especially because you like see this pseudo Batmobile, and like another thing that I really liked about this movie is that he was driving a motorbike the entire time, so you know that is like the allude to the Bat Cycle. One scene that I was talking about earlier on, which in the subtext of what it was funny, is that obviously near the end of the movie when the Riddler is setting off all these bombs to, you know, flood the place, the mayor, like, listen to the want-to-be mayor, she's like, oh, we need to stand up to these people, we need to make a stand, and instead of doing the smart thing, she just walks out and gets whoosh, and you're like, this is why you don't have that attitude when it comes to these things. Yes, can you stand up to that sort of injustice? Can you go about doing it that way? Yes, but do it smarter than running into a place filled with people with guns. Like, dude,
yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Me personally, I don't care which side of the spectrum you're on. I say you should have went for the head, but I digress and everything, like, you know, but
yeah,
just saying, like, that's why I just say, like, in my classic 8 out of 10, I said, like, Mattreeves, I'm tired of politics. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Like, I rather you just would have just skipped all the election stuff. I don't care. Like, I really don't. The thing is, people, I'm sorry, take over your stream. I gotta get this rant out real quick. The thing is, people are tired of this. Okay, we're tired. We're like, because the thing is, we already know which side. That woman is on. I'm not even gonna tell you what side it is. You do your own research and everything. But like, you already know. You know, like they killed off the other guy that we happen to know that's on a different side too, or whatever. That this side gets to talk more and this side doesn't get to talk at all. But you catch my drift. My thing is this: I'm tired of it. I'm done. I don't want it in Batman. Okay.
The only time it's actually suitable is when it's Harvey Dent. Other than that, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like, honestly, there's not really even an excuse for it, because you can go through all, even like 89, 92, 95, 97. None of that and everything. They just showed the Harvey Dent stuff, but that's about it and everything. Even through the Nolan trilogy, they didn't show any of that or whatever. Like, they already established who was in charge. That's what you needed to do. Yep. Other than that, I don't care for it. I really hope going down forward, we just, like, you know, the mayor's just the mayor, you know, and that's it. We need to keep it like that.
I agree, but since I think it's time to start wrapping this video up. But before we do and give our ratings and wrap it up, there's something that we like to do normally, and what is that thing?
So, do you want to go to, like, we did a lot of DC movies already, right? You know what I'm saying? We did enough DC movies for a little bit. I think we should cross over to the world of Marvel. A little bit.
Yeah. Maybe let's go to an airport base, you know, and just have a little fun.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, like, people having a disagreement. Speaking of, like, this actually set it up. Shout out to my man TCK. That it sets it up. Like, oh yeah. So
Yeah, so what my rating of this movie would be is a solid 9 out of 10. For me, if the Riddler had been done the right way, this would be probably one of the first movies I would want to give a 10 out of 10 because yeah, there is boring parts for certain people, but for me, when it comes to the detective stuff and all that stuff, oh, dude, I loved it. Like seriously, this Batman is such a great Batman film for me. So I would give it like a solid 9 out of 10. Obviously, yeah, I do have issues, but like those issues are not gonna ruin the entire film for me, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think we all know your answer to this because you've said it a few times.
It's a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Like once again, it's really because I like me personally. I think a lot of just not. I don't mean to make this a thing, but I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit of a thing. I think Americans are just tired of it and everything. That's just all it is, in my opinion. A lot of people are just tired of it, especially if you're not on that side that people are tending. The media actually has and everything. Like you feel the attack or whatever, or like you're more than less of a person, and people are just tired of it or whatever. And of course, I didn't really care for the Riddler, the take on the Riddler. Other than that, I love Robert Pattinson. I love Zoe Kravitz. I love old boy that played Commissioner Gordon. Oh, we forgot to shout out to Andy Serkis for Alfred. Alfred is still undefeated. There has not yet to be a bad Alfred. It's still undefeated or whatever. Yeah, man, and I still love this movie. You know, it's gotten like a lot of comic accuracy. I love it for what it is or whatever. Hopefully, part 2 comes out, and you know what? I'm ready to better. I hope it gets better, and maybe just maybe, we might just get. I keep on hearing rumors that we might be getting Clayface, so we might be getting a little bit of fantasy into the Matt Reeves universe or whatever.
Please. Also, Matt Reeves, just before we go, add a Robin. I don't care which one. Just add a Robin at this point. I'm really needing to get Robin. Preferably, I would prefer their first one, of course. That if everybody's not the fan of the channel, you know, I'm a big Nightwing fan. But we need a Robin. Wait, like other than just Damian Wayne. Don't get me wrong, that would be cool. But I need another Robin. We need an actual representation of a Robin, because the best thing I loved about the ending of this movie is that Batman just realizes that he can't just always be vengeance. He has to be hope. And what gives him that hope? Dick Grayson.
The Robin.
Yep. Well, that was in the comic book. It's Dick Grayson. It could be any Robin, but please, I'm begging you, please get a Robin. And if so, please choose Tanner. He'd be a good either Dick, or he could be a good Jason. I don't care which one it is. Just please give us Robin. I don't like the last one we got. Don't get me wrong, the actor done as good as well as he could, but we need to get a Robin without bat nipples. Please, please, I'm begging you.
I mean, I love Chris O'Donnell. I think Chris O'Donnell. I like the Chris O'Donnell in the first Batman Forever. Like Batman Forever, Chris O'Donnell was good.
The other one was
Batman
terrible.
Robin.
He was a whiny teenager. It's like he came into it like an adult and then reverted back to the teenage version that you would expect.
Yeah.
He also got the Nightwing suit too early, in my opinion. Anyway, so
yeah,
this has been fun. It's been Ken and Wolf. That has been MMA King Crease Jr. And I shall see you guys in the next one.
Peace out, guys.